Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson. Thank you to everyone who came out to the Legal Eagle Charity Golf Tournament a couple of weeks ago. If I met you at PodFest last week, hello. Thank you for checking out the show. Happy Memorial Day. So many things going on this time of year. But yeah, just wanted to go ahead and just dive into this week's topic around ROI and results. I think, in my experience, lawyers, they really want tangible, hard data to look at, to track results and really measure the effectiveness and the ROI of their marketing. Now, when it comes to lead generation, things like that, even if you're doing SEO work or pay-per-click ads or stuff like that, there are some data points that you can look at that can help you gauge the effectiveness of it. They may not necessarily tell the whole story. You really want to be able to figure out how many clients came from that lead source. How, are you, what specific search phrases are you ranking high in? Because you could be on page one for 20 different phrases, but if it's stuff that people aren't actually searching, then what good is it doing you? But when it comes to the nurturing side, we talked last week about lead generation, hunting versus nurturing and continuing to nurture leads along the way. It gets a little bit more difficult to admittedly find very tangible ROI from nurturing your leads, because most people, when they're tracking their marketing, they're tracking their lead source and they're tracking maybe how long it took the conversion process. So when it comes to the nurturing side of things, it can get a little difficult to give credit wherever that credit is due, because a lot of times you're going to want to just credit the lead source because that's how they got in the door in the first place, and then they just eventually convert it for whatever reason. So when we're looking at ROI, especially for nurturing, and for sake of the argument, just the content marketing side of things, you want to first establish what you want that content marketing to do for you. All right. Is it to increase referrals? Is it to increase conversions? Is it to make the overall sales cycle shorter? There are different avenues that you can take with that. And so what we say, at least what we say we do at Spotlight Branding, is designed to increase referrals, attract the right kinds of clients, and help you achieve a higher ROI on your other kinds of marketing. So one way to kind of look at it is somewhat similar to like Aflac. Aflac brands itself essentially as like supplemental health insurance. They will help, they'll give you money for things that health insurance doesn't cover. It's not a replacement for health insurance, but in the areas where health insurance falls short, Aflac is there to supplement it and make it better. I'm not saying that content marketing and what we do can't stand alone, because it can. We have several clients who just use us as their sole marketing, and we help them generate a lot of referrals. We help them generate a lot of business. They get good ROI from it. But when it comes to the ROI of other marketing, that's where it kind of feels more supplemental. All right. So, think about it this way. Let's say you're doing SEO, pay-per-click ads, some other sort of lead generation. The idea behind the content marketing side of things is when you generate leads from those, it'll happen in two ways. One, the content on your website will help generate that lead at a higher rate. All right. Because they're on your website. They think it's legitimate. They think you're the expert. They're interested in learning more. They want to dive deeper into this instead of hitting your landing page, figuring they're not interested in leaving. So it helps those landing pages convert better in terms of generating more leads. But as they continue to get touch points created, as they continue to be nurtured along the way and they become clients, now you can attribute more of those clients to that lead source, which is what a lot of people end up doing, like I said before. So it helps those lead sources convert at a higher rate. So it's a couple of different ways you want to look at it. Alternatively, if you just want to generate more referrals, that's just easy data that you can track. Start at the point where you weren't doing any sort of content marketing, any sort of nurturing, or like very minimal, and then compare that to when you ramped that up, when you started doing more, when you started creating more touch points. See if the number of referrals that you get has been increasing. That's how you track that sort of thing. The other thing is track, the kinds of cases, so like when we say you're going to attract the right kinds of clients, track the kinds of cases that you're taking. Are people coming to your door specifically asking for your help in the things that you have been specifically marketing? Because if that's the case, there's your sign that the nurturing and the messaging and the content is effective. The thing, though, that I think a lot of people need to understand, though, is that as much as we would want a marketing vendor, for example, to provide us with metrics or to provide you with metrics to indicate how well something is going, you are going to be much better off making sure that you are tracking something on your end as well. If, I use this example a lot. If a marketing company says they're going to generate 100 leads for you every month, you need to track on your end based on your definition of what a lead is and hold them accountable to your number, because they can easily just kind of look at the data on their end and tell you what they think you got, or at least in their opinion, what you got. But if that doesn't align, like if they're sending you 100 leads a month, but those leads aren't remotely qualified or appropriate for your practice, if you're not going to call them out on it, they're still going to tell you they sent you 100 leads every month. Same thing on when it comes to us. We say we're going to increase your referrals. Are your referrals increasing? Are the right kinds of clients, the kinds of people that you want to do business with, coming through the door? It's stuff like that, and it's stuff that a marketing company can't inherently track. So that's where you have to do a little bit of work on your end, but it's the overall process of the marketing that you're delegating. You still want to keep track on it. You still want to have your fingerprint, your pulse on what's going on, but that's kind of the nature of it, and you're delegating 98% of it. You're just tracking the results, and you're tracking the progress of how everything is going. When it comes to how long it should take to expect results, it really just depends on what you're doing. When the cold lead gen side of things, depending on your market and all of that kind of stuff, it depends on how competitive the keywords are. It depends on how competitive other ads are in your area, and just competing on the cost per click. If you want to bypass a lot of people, you're going to have to pay more, because people are paying a pretty penny to have their ads seen. So, there is that side of it. On the referral side, on the content side, it all depends on how much you've been doing before. We tend to tell people it could take up to 6 months, especially if you have not done anything whatsoever. I've also seen people on the first newsletter they send out get multiple requests for repeat business or multiple referrals on the first time out. So, it really depends. It really, really depends on how much you've been nurturing your audience versus not. So, if there was ever a time to say results may vary, that is the exact time. And so, the overall idea, though, is it's marketing, as with anything like this, is an investment, and if you compare it to, stock markets, retirement accounts, things like that, it's that spend money to make money. You might take a little bit of a loss at first, but the ultimate goal is that it's going to make you more money in the long run. Spend $1,000 to make 5,000. Seems like a pretty easy pretty easy risk to take. So hope that clarifies some things. If you have any other questions around results and expectations for marketing, I'm happy to answer them, happy to chat with you. You know how to reach us at this point. You just go to spotlightbranding.com and we'll be there. You can also reach out on any of our social media networks. If you haven't also, just follow us on some of those platforms, whatever your favorite platform is. We do a lot of fun stuff over there, and always keeping everybody informed. So that's going to be it. Thanks so much again for listening and leaving your reviews and ratings and all that. We really do appreciate it. It does help us out. And that's going to be it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.